Looking through my past outlines, I didn't see it listed there, so I might have just in passing mentioned it on a previous show. I'm not sure, but I thought I would talk about tonight's notion of the week, Sewtites, a little bit more in depth. So Danny's going to switch to the overhead camera. These are the two. So Sewtites come in various, I guess, strengths, if you call it. These are the two that I have in my stash. These seafoam green ones are the regular size, and then the blue is the Sewtites HD. And Sewtites makes various packages of multiple quantities of the Sewtites. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two and what kind of applications I would use for either the regular or the HD. So I've got a few different thicknesses of fabric over here, a few layers of quilting cotton. This is 4 layers of fabric. I'm working on some quilt blocks. So this regular Sewtites is perfect for quilt blocks. If you're doing some English paper piecing, that would be perfect to hold your fabrics together while you're hand stitching. The regular also works really well for, I've got 2 layers of cork fabric over here, and it comes in 2 pieces. So one is the backing, and then this is the other side of the magnet. So you'll just slide the backing underneath, and then the colored magnet goes on top. So as you can see, it holds the 2 layers of cork really well, and it even holds 1 layer of cork and 1 layer of foam, such as if the body of your bag has foam interfacing and maybe your flap is a little bit thinner of a fabric and you want to secure those to make sure you're stitching them on straight. So the regular Sewtites works really well for those particular 2 thicknesses. Where the HD comes in handy, first of all, you can use the HD for all of these same layers. It still works really well for quilting cotton. I actually have a magnetic board for my cross stitch, and I use one of these Sewtites to hold my paper pattern with the stitch guide to the magnetic board. So I use this for all sorts of different things besides fabric related things, but what it's really good for is for holding thicker layers, such as 2 layers of foam interfacing. Sometimes I'm working on a project where I do have, say, a flap made of foam and then the body of the bag made of foam, and so that's where the Sewtites HD come in handy, because they can hold through 2 layers of foam. The regular Sewtites, 2 layers of foam, they're really not holding anything together. I'm just sliding these over and they're just not as strong. So that's why the difference between the two, and that's where the HD comes in handy if you think you might be needing it to hold 2 layers of the foam interfacing. And I use the Sewtites HD for a few bags. In particular, a bag that comes to mind is the Super Bloom tote, where I needed to hold the side pocket in place while I stitched it to the body of the bag. I didn't want to use traditional pins because traditional pins, well, first of all, I was afraid of poking myself, and secondly, the traditional pins kind of make things a little bit ripply, where I would prefer them to be flat. So again, Sewtites HD if you need thicker layers held in place, and then the regular Sewtites that are the seafoam green color for other layers, thinner layers, and even a layer of cork and foam interfacing. So hope that straightened things out as far as the differences between the 2 different Sewtites. And if you're interested in reading more about them, there is a link in the description for both the regular and the Sewtites HD. So